we have a shocking report about Teoscar Hernandez, who almost signed with another ball club this past offseason. He recently spoke about this in a podcast. And also, we have a major announcement that's going to get Dodger fans in Japan very excited. Hey, I'm Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now to bring you the best. We're going to bring you the best in Dodgers news and everything happening Dodgers. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. This past week, or I should say, in the last few days, Teoscar Hernandez talked about in a podcast that he almost joined the Dodgers. Actually, he almost joined the Red Sox, I should say. He spoke to WEEI's Rob Bradford on the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast. Hernandez mentioned that the Red Sox are actually one of his favorite teams, which is kind of surprising. A player that, of course, played in the American League for his entire career before joining the Dodgers. He said he loved playing at Fenway Park. Wouldn't that be crazy seeing Hernandez hit at Fenway Park the way that guy hits? I mean, the way, of course, that green monster is set up. I mean, it would have been a crazy place to see him hit the ball off that monster on a daily basis. But anyway, he said he had to make the best decision for himself, and in the end, of course, went with the Dodgers. Hernandez has been, nothing but exciting for the team this season. Coming up with clutch home runs. Of course, also being the home run derby champion this week. Yeah, that's right. Hernandez won the home run derby competition this week in Texas at the, of course, All Star Game festivities. It's funny because you look at Hernandez, standing there at the ballpark where, of course, the Rangers play, and it kind of just brings me back to when the Dodgers won the 2020 World Series. I mean, that stadium is always going to be, in my opinion, it's always going to be connected to Dodgers lore or Dodgers history because it was such a special place. The Dodgers finally got that World Series championship. I know it was a 60-game season, but us Dodger fans, we definitely celebrated that bubble championship, you could say. So seeing Hernandez, win some hardware, win some trophies in a familiar location, kind of gives you some excitement as a Dodger fan. But I want to go back to what he talked about in the podcast. I got a chance to watch this podcast, and yeah, it seemed like Hernandez was really thinking about going to the Red Sox, and why wouldn't he? I mean, the Red Sox are a young team. They're an exciting team to watch for sure. They got a lot of young players, and having him hit in a hitters friendly park was something that he was probably really wanted to do if you think about it. I mean, it's something that I think most hitters would definitely consider. But the question is, why didn't Hernandez go with the Red Sox? That's pretty much what we're going to talk about next. It looks like a bad deal was offered. As he also spoke here in the podcast, it looks like it was a 2-year, 28 million dollar contract. So that's like 14 million a year. About what is it, $11 million less or so, 10, $11 million less than what the Dodgers offered him. Of course, he only signed a 1-year deal with the Dodgers, but of course, he was going to go with the more lucrative offer from the Dodgers there, and that was in the end why he didn't sign with the Red Sox, it seems. And as I mentioned at the top of this video, Hernandez has been nothing short but extraordinary here in the first half of the season, first 81 games of the Dodgers season, hitting 261 with 39 extra base hits. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And of those 39 extra base hits, got 19 home runs. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming. And, in a lineup where everybody's focused on, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, of course, for the longest period. Of course, now he's, of course, injured. But you had three, maybe future Hall of Famers, batting right before you. You kind of forget about Hernandez, and I think a lot of people didn't really expect him to, really fit in this quickly, right? I mean, I think a lot of people thought, okay, it's a 1-year deal. We're going to see how he does. Potentially a player that the Dodgers even. I mean, I don't want to say it, but some people probably at the beginning of the year thought of having him like trade bait, right? Like a player that you would maybe think about trading at the trade deadline if things didn't work out with a 1 year deal. Well, that's not going to happen. Hernandez is one of the best players on the team, if not the hottest hitter. I mean, the guy got an invitation to go to the home run derby. I mean, that's basically all you need to know. And another stat that I really like from Hernandez is the 62 RBIs. I mean, that alone is pretty crazy, and only 95 games. I mean, that's pretty wild. I mean, I really think Hernandez is a player that you know is going to be one of those guys that is going to be important in the playoffs, because I think the focus is going to be on, Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani. I mean, that's going to be the thing all playoffs long. I mean, you're going to have those guys going up there, getting walked, not getting pitches to hit at times, I think sometimes you're going to see that, and Hernandez is going to be that player that can come up, in the cleanup spot or wherever he's at, and drive those runs in. If Otani's on at first and he steals the base and gets the second, I mean that's where Hernandez can come in and grab a base hit and give the Dodgers a run. Now let's talk about a major announcement that Major League Baseball had yesterday. Of course, the 2025 schedule was released yesterday. Of course, Major League Baseball always releases their schedule so early. I mean, that's always something that kind of boggles my mind, how Major League Baseball releases that schedule. What is it? I mean, 6 months, or not even 6 months. It's like, what is it, 9 months before next season starts? 8 or 9 months. I mean, it's July of 2024 right now, and the next season starts in March of 25, and we already know basically all the dates for next season. So there was a major announcement concerning um, the Dodgers, and that's that the Dodgers are going to be playing in Japan to kick off the 2025 season. That's right. The 2025 MLB season for the Dodgers is going to kick off in Japan, regular season. It's going to pit the Dodgers and the Cubs going at it. And what makes this series really special is you're going to have Shohei Ohtani, potentially pitching his first ever um, game for the Dodgers. I mean, that would be crazy. Shohei Ohtani getting his first ever start in Dodger blue. Of course, as we know, Ohtani hasn't pitched yet due to his Tommy John surgery. Um, or I shouldn't say Tommy John surgery, his elbow surgery that he had in the offseason. So this could potentially pit Shohei Ohtani in his first ever start with the Dodgers, going up against Shota Imanaga, who's of course a rookie pitcher for the Cubs this year, although has a long, extensive professional career out in Japan. Came out here to the Cubs, was an all-star in his first year, and next year we'll be potentially looking to have another great season. So we can have two, Japanese-born starting pitchers going at it in game one of the 2025 season. And the Dodgers' relationship with Japan goes back, many years. It goes back to 1956 when the Dodgers took a trip to Japan, and then in '66 they went back as well. But I'm really excited to see, Shota and Shohei potentially go at it in game one of the 2025 season. And, Shohei Ohtani finally getting a chance to pitch in front of those crazy fans out there in Japan. As you know, Major League Baseball has been going, since 2000, I believe, was the first time Major League Baseball went out to Japan for regular season baseball to kick off the year, and the Dodgers were involved with that. And then it's been, about a off and on Dodgers, or I say off and on Major League Baseball going out to Japan. But it looks like now with Shohei Ohtani, that's going to be happening much more often. Having Major League Baseball go out to Japan to play regular season baseball games. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Mike Nelson on Dodgers Digest.